Hello, EDL 695. This is Adam Hall, and this is the third installment for the course requirements for our understanding level of Bloom's taxonomy. Today I'll be talking about self-mentoring and really trying to keep this video to about 5 minutes. So just to jump right in, this is Dr. Marcia Carr's kind of brainchild, and she's done a lot of great work on mentoring and self-mentoring, specifically kind of setting this up for success. But self-mentoring really is a process that an individual takes control and re-empowers themselves. Essentially they take responsibility for their professional development, their professional solutions, because it's about identifying latent traits and abilities and then applying them to difficult situations. I think of the three that we've talked about, mentoring, coaching, and now self-mentoring, this is the one that is most near and dear to my heart because working in the field of folks who have lost power, this is the one that I feel really systematically helps give them power back. Really thinks about how they can make decisions without the outside influence of folks who may or may not have their best interest in hand. And looking at this model, there's really 4 stages that Dr. Carr has identified. So self-awareness is really, I think, the most important and most pertinent stage because it is about critical assessment of self. Deep individual work, honesty about one's abilities or lack of abilities is key, and ongoing internal, external reflection of realities and how that shifts and how that changes. The leadership component is also important because really that's where we're moving towards. So if we can start assessing leadership very early on, then we can consider the solutions that we're actually going to be proposing as successful leadership guiding principles, or even asking for help. And what those are all great leadership kind of ideals. So together, this to me is the most important critical piece for self-mentoring and moving us forward. We have to then develop a plan. So self-development really is a very specific strategy to connect what you're thinking about doing to how you want to measure it. So if you're seeing a problem, how are you going to collect data around that problem? How are you going to reconsider what is pertinent and what is not helpful? And then reassess when necessary. Here, to me, this is the part of self-mentoring that really you can bring in peers and colleagues and creating a network of knowledge that would really help benefit that individual or yourself as you start thinking about how can self-mentoring help me. Well, getting in some peers who might help you and will take care of you and support you in this is critical to your success as well. The third stage is self-reflection, and this is really after the plan is in place. This is doing it. This is collecting the data. This is talking with peers. This is giving feedback, taking feedback, looking at your network, analyzing the data, sending it back out. And this is a process. Now, granted, this process should have a time frame on it. This should not be a 9-month process for a high school math teacher, because then maybe the year's gone and there hasn't been anything improved because we haven't actually implemented what we're thinking about doing. And then once we've collected all that, we've analyzed it, we move into the self-monitoring. And this is the process by which individuals will really put into place and maintain and follow up with what they're trying to be successful in, whether it's a project or learning new skills or just finding a solution to an ongoing systemic issue in an office space or a classroom. This is the part of the process where we keep going and analyzing it and changing it. And then if we feel like it's been successful or not successful, going back to the assessment in the very beginning and redoing all that work and making sure that we're in a good place and keeping this cycle going. This is not a one-shot silver bullet, but an ongoing change in behavior and improvement style leadership model. And so I'm going to move us to the bibliography just because it's important to know that I did take these sources from both of Dr. Carr's, the book that she's published, but also a YouTube video web information session where she provided some background information for the scenarios. Self-mentoring really is a solution-based, strengths-based program that I think has a lot to offer any field, especially student affairs, because we are so solution-focused and development-focused in our work. And so my hope is that others, if you view this video, that you may consider applying and reaching out and learning more about self-mentoring for your programs. Thanks, everybody.